Hi, Dr. Dave here again with a follow-up to my last video about the Derby City Classic racking controversy. In my last video, I demonstrated making the 4-ball wing in the corner with a break from the box with a tight rack. What I didn't tell you, because I didn't know it at the time, is that there was a cheat going on here. Can you figure out what it is? I assure you that the rack is tight with all balls touching. Here's the answer. I have a laser level pointing down the center string of the table. The 1 is on the line, but the 9 and 8 are not. The rack is turned counterclockwise slightly. Either the rack was not aligned carefully enough when I trained the table last year, or maybe the training drifted as I retrained loose balls over time. Here's a close-up showing how far off the 8 is. With a break shot from close to the center of the table, where you would expect the wing balls to go high with a square hit of a tight rack, the rack turn can allow the wing ball to go on one side, with the other wing ball going even higher. Notice that when I break from the other side, the 5-ball wing does not go. Notice that with a back cut, which approximates a hit from the other side of the table, the 4-ball wing does go as expected with the rack turn. With a break from the box, like Shane and Dennis were using at the Derby City Classic, the wing ball should go high with a square hit of a tight rack. There are several ways to cheat if the wing ball is going high. One way is to turn the rack slightly, as was the case in my previous video. But this would be too obvious to an opponent or ref in person, especially if there are lines drawn on the table. Another approach is to manipulate the rack to create gaps in helpful positions. The cheat Jayson was accusing Shane of using is demonstrated here. If the rack is solid through the 1-2-9-7 path, and there are gaps anywhere around the 5, the energy of the hit will move the 7 forward some before the 5 moves, allowing it to go more forward than would occur with a tight rack. Here, I have gaps between the 3 and 5, and 5 and 7, created by folded tissue. These gaps make it easy to pocket the 5-ball wing. And as we clearly saw in the previous video, with a square hit and good speed range, it is easy to get a shot at the 1 in the corner after the break. Here are some more examples. Another easy rack manipulation cheat is to make sure the back ball is gapped. Here I have a gap between the 7 and 8. Just as with the previous gaps, this allows the 5-ball wing to go more forward since there is less mass on the bottom side of the 5, providing resistance to the 5-ball as the 3-ball drives it forward. Again, with a nice spread and good look at the 1, any good player is a favorite to get out here. Here are some more examples. So did Shane and Dennis cheat by manipulating racks at the Derby City Classic? If it is difficult to get a tight rack on a particular table, one could argue that manipulating a rack isn't cheating. You can claim you are doing your best to get part of the rack tight and are accepting gaps in other places. However, if you are creating gaps in the same places, rack after rack, and breaking from a direction where such gaps are beneficial, I think you are clearly violating the intent of racking rules. I'll let the viewers and players judge for themselves.